wonderful bookstore, and I'm very happy to be here. I've got some spiel to talk about, but I really would like to spend the far majority of this time executing on my thesis, which is bring value, and I think the best way I can bring value is to actually do as much Q&A as possible, since you guys can hear my spiel in a million ways in a million different places. And so I'll give you a little overview of how we got here, why I wrote another book when I promised myself I wouldn't after Thank You Economy, and then waited less than 2 years to write another one, and then we'll open it up. What ended up happening with Jab, 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 Right Hook, and why I decided to write this book was a variety of different things colliding at the same time. I really did think that I was only going to write one more book in my life, which was going to be called How I Bought the Jets. I was very romantic about that. I was excited about that being the title. And what happened was I basically hit this moment at Vaynermedia. Vaynermedia is the agency my brother AJ and I started that's growing very quickly. We work with mainly Fortune 500 companies. We are a strategy and creative shop. So basically what we're trying to do is help brands and companies put out content on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Pinterest, Instagram, Vine, Snapchat to drive business results, whatever those may be. I hit a point where something hit me in a couple of meetings and a couple of just, kind of, how life is, right? Just a couple of things happened at the right exact moment where I realized, this moment I'm living right now, I might be so far ahead of the rest of the market in my understanding that this might be worth writing a book. The book writing process takes a long time. I thought of this basic format, the concept, and what I was going to do with it, last year. I wrote it January through March, right? And so it's tough when you write about current trends or things that are happening or game-changing things that are happening when you want to talk about them daily, let alone wait 9 or 10 months for it to come out in book form. So I struggle to write books, and I feel like what Crush It did was, and its success came from, I was talking about something that a lot of people didn't see, and that's why it worked and impacted people. Thank You Economy was easier. That was really talking about an evergreen philosophy of what I thought was going on. But the reason I didn't think I was going to write any other books is because I've really, and for the people that have followed me, they can tell what I did with this book, I've really decided where I need to go forward if I decide to write books is to go more in a utilitarian fashion. I wanted people to actually use this as an asset. It's really weird for a D&F student to write a textbook, but that's really what this is. I decided to go with 80 case studies because really I just wanted to go deeper. At the same token, as I started having these feelings, I jumped on the internet and kind of looked at the Amazon ratings and reviews of my prior 2 books, and I went down this awkward rabbit hole of reading every single negative review of Crush It and Thank You Economy twice. And it didn't turn into a drinking game, but it turned into me getting really fucking pissed off games. And so it really motivated me and kind of set the North Star to what I wanted to do with this book, which was the negative reviews for my prior books were, well, this is a why book and I need a how-to. This didn't help me, this didn't teach me. I get it, it educated me theoretically, but I need help. I need to sell stuff, I need to make stuff happen. And so I decided to really go on a path with this book, and it's happening. I just got a tweet 2 hours ago of somebody tweeting a Facebook status update that is their best performing Facebook status update they've ever had because they followed the book. And that's really what I wanted to do. And that's why this book was the most difficult to me and would never have been able to be achieved if it wasn't for my team at Vaynermedia. There was a lot of homework that went into this. And as somebody who hasn't ever done any homework in his life, that was a struggle. And so I was very fortunate to the fact that the reason I was able to write this book and the reason I thought I was the guy to write this book is that my company right now produces stories and content on a daily basis at scale. We're producing 200 to 300 to 500 sometimes status updates, pictures, infographics, videos across these social networks, across a lot of different brands, different kind of genres. And so now I have a collective, not just what works for me, but a collective and an idea of what's really working and what was really happening within the context of these platforms. And so, no matter what you do for a living in this room, and I see a lot of familiar faces of people I know and have interacted with through the years, no matter what you do, whether you're in education, or you sell something, information, B2B, no matter what you do, the one thing we are all tied by is the fact that we have to tell our story to the person we're trying to reach somewhere along the path of where they're actually gonna make that decision, all right? Now here's where it starts getting interesting. The only thing I care about when I think about that and what I am as a storyteller and a marketer and a businessman and a human being, the only thing I care about is where the attention is of the end consumer. And quickly, rapidly, and at scale, not exactly at this exact moment, but the beginning pieces are in place of us collectively spending more and more of our eyeballs and our